And good morning. Welcome to another edition of the Real Estate Radio Hour, brought to you by Chris Rooney with the Realty House and Andy Prasky with RE/MAX Real Estate Properties. Good morning, guys. Good to see you again. How did it go last night? Everything okay?
Fantastic.
Good. Now, were you out hunting last night?
I was, yeah. Family ritual we have every year. My wife's family has a farm down near the Marshall area, kind of down in a town called Minneota.
Yeah, of course.
Beautiful country down there, and weather wasn't so great, but it was good for the deer, I guess, because I didn't get anything.
I bet you that family listens to you all the time here. That signal moves into Southwest.
They have signs around town bragging that we're in town. I'm kidding. No, they don't. They actually, it was kind of funny.
Get out of town. Andy's coming.
Yeah, right. A couple weeks ago, we had that comment I made about having a piece of land that if you're a rich farmer, you should listen up. I had two guys on the farm that were with us that said, I heard that. We're not rich.
Okay. Yeah,
we just had a good year.
You had to answer that. All right.
That was fun.
Well, anyway, it's good to be back. What's cooking today on the show?
Oh, lots of stuff today. We're going to get into some first-time homebuyer things and kind of what to look out for. And then I wanted to talk a little bit at the beginning. Andy had a chance to do some schooling this week and learn some stuff on some investment. What was it? Certified investment agent specialist. Andy is now.
Yes.
Wow. Yes.
I know.
Yep.
Well, the idea was that it's really it was a course designed for agents that are out there to offer to the non-investor or somebody that's thinking, God, maybe I should own a rental property, diversify my portfolio. And it was an in-depth class that went into how to work with that buyer, how to make them comfortable, how to educate, if you will, and I think Chris and I are going to end up doing a whole series on this where we'll do seminars, and we might even have a future show here that we dedicate to that topic, and because it's really right now is one of on the affordability index, the cost of money, and the rents are so high. It's ridiculous. The spread that's there, it's almost impossible to not make a rental property make sense in today's current market, and so that diversification people are looking for, I think this is a great vehicle.
Well, I was interested in some of the stats you were telling us about who that investor was.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of people out there that don't think they can get into an investment property.
Right.
But
the U.S. has 320 million people, roughly, give or take a few, and there's 180 million people that have some kind of a retirement vehicle. And 4 million of those 180 actually have self-directed IRAs. And everybody's like, oh, geez, they're terrible. They're not that hard to figure out. They're very simple, and you can use the actual rental properties in that kind of a vehicle. And it creates some really stable wealth, if you will, over time.
I have one of those, and we use some of that in investment properties. And the big thing about it is that you just can't touch it. You can't touch that money or profit from that money. You can profit within your IRA, but not, personally.
Yeah, you just have the administrator that basically would, for an example, like with checks, the rent comes in, if your payments are made, that's all done by your administrator. If you have a payment, for an example, or the maintenance gets paid, or you just can't touch the money. You can manage the property, you just can't actually touch.
Right. So what kind of people are buying them?
Well, that was what I found absolutely fascinating, is that there was over 25% of the investment properties that are purchased right now, they only make, I shouldn't say only, it's a lot of money, I suppose, but the average was $48,000 for income. 25% of the investors that are out there. The other side was over 50% of the investors make under $80,000 combined income, husband and wife. And that was almost 40-some% of our market last year. The houses that were being bought by these investors. And so to me, that's
a great way to accumulate wealth.
You don't have to be wealthy to basically buy an investment property.
Right, yeah. And I'll tell you what, if you have the onesie-twosies, they're a little easier to take care of, obviously. Once you get more than that, then it becomes more of a burden. And you have to kind of dedicate more full-time to it. I know I went through that whole, starting in the 1990 actually, and as you start accumulating them, it's easy to kind of, I can go check on that one, and you're really good about it, checking all the time. Then you start building them up and get more and more, and then now we've got my wife has moved into watching them full time.
Well, and that's what this guy, the course was taught by a gentleman that said you should start to finish on your first rental property, experience everything. So that you really gain an appreciation and have the respect, and also know the boundaries of what to expect from the people working for you. And because with the spread that's there between the cost of the properties and the actual rent, you have enough room in there now to have management companies in there that actually collect the checks, do the maintenance, which can be hands-free then.
And for what they're doing it for now, where you're talking, under $100 a month to be able to take those phone calls. But I think you're right on the nose when you say you have to experience it.
Yeah.
And you should. If you're handy too, that's going to be a big, big plus. But we kind of try to use service. We do a lot of single family rentals, and with that, we get the people, the tenants, to be able to put a Service Plus contract on there. Because if you're furnace, and it's a benefit to them, because if the furnace goes bad on Saturday night, and you got to call Chris Rooney, and he's out and about, and he doesn't get you heat until Monday morning, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's kind of there's little tricks of the trade.
Sounds like you planned that out a little bit.
Yeah, so I don't get the calls.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, all right, well, today, John Castilone with W.J. Bradley is going to be with us. And what we thought we would do, because we are kind of getting into a lot more first-time homebuyers again, that are starting up again because of the interest rates.
Yeah, the interest rates again you keep hearing, record lows, but we really have stayed super, super low as far as the cost of money that's available. And when you're looking at interest rates for 30-year fixed notes in the 3 range, in the 3s, then you've got some very, very affordable money, and you can afford a little bit more house, and it's a great time to take a look at being able to buy your first home. So there's a few things that we wanted to take a look at. As far as what to think about.
Yeah, we're going to hit on 5 of those, but we probably
let's take a break.
Okay,
and let's invite our listeners to join in too. If you have a real estate question, 651-989-9226, or send a text at 81807. Back with more of the Real Estate Radio Hour here on 830 WCCO.